Hey guys, welcome everyone to Binomo Live. You are with me here today, Ahmed, talking about focusing on the biggest signs in the market and how we find opportunities to make profits. So today we're going to be talking about hard work, about finding the biggest signs in the market and how that's going to help you find profitable opportunities. And then we're going to spend some time looking at some live trading opportunities. So if you have any questions whatsoever, comments or feedback, be sure to join me in the live chat. Put them down, put your comments down, put your thoughts down. Tell me where you're joining us from. Are you from home or office? And also say, you can put down in the chat how many years you've been trading, and welcome to the live stream. So, when we are approaching the market, when we are looking at assets, looking at charts, looking at fundamental analysis, really what we are looking at is we could be looking at signals, real signals, or we could be looking at market noise. So finding the biggest signs in the market is absolutely critical, because what happens if you are not focusing on true, real key signals in the market, then you are definitely focusing on market noise, and this is going to be distracting, and this is not going to give you the profit opportunities that you are looking for. So you need to find out what's important, what are the key trends, so that you know what to focus on. Okay, you need to be able to tell what movements are long term and what movements are short term. Usually movements that are short term are more relevant to market noise, and major trends or major movements, major shifts or patterns, those are key signals that we want to focus on. So remember, when you're looking at the market, you are really differentiating, finding out which one is market noise and which one is key signal. Okay, so one way of telling that is finding out which one is short term, which one is long term or major trend. Okay, so there's short term trend and major trend, short term trend and long term trend. Okay, and then when you're looking at major trends, you really want to focus on not just the price action, not just the charts, but also looking at economic data. Okay, what has been released recently, what is going to be released today, and what's probably going to be released in the future. Because if you have significant economic data like inflation numbers or unemployment numbers or jobs report or interest rate decisions, those are key pieces of economic data. They could influence major trends in the market. So you need to, by looking at economic data, anticipating and being ready for it, understanding what they are and being ready for it, will help you identify major trends. And if you also consider global events like, if there's any disruptive events like war, like major catastrophes, okay, that stops economic activity, something like a volcano or something like COVID, okay, so these things affect economic activity, and they will also affect economic data. So by focusing on economic data, central bank actions, central bank decisions, and then looking at global events, the price of oil, the price of gold, as well as geopolitical events, as well as natural disasters like catastrophes, you will be able to understand what major trends are currently happening and how major trends could change because of these other things. Okay, so if we're looking at the market today, some important things are happening. First of all, the last couple of months, the US dollar has been strong relative to other currencies. The US dollar has been strong because of high interest rates, because of strong economic activity in the US economy. So because of that, inflation has pushed higher in the US, and therefore the central bank, which is the Federal Reserve Bank in the US, has pushed interest rates one after another until recently, where you see the interest rate decisions are no longer being focused. The interest rate decisions that are being made are not focused on raising interest rates anymore, but they are more of keeping interest rates where they are, because they are now see the reason the reason central banks like Federal Reserve, the Fed, are increasing interest rate, raising interest rates, is to slow down the economy. If it's too strong, inflation will go up and everything will be expensive. Houses will be expensive, clothing will be expensive, food will be expensive, and oil will be expensive. So all these things are going to make the economy start to become difficult, and you could expect when things are too expensive, things will just slow down. But before that happens, before the natural slowdown happens, central banks like the Federal Reserve would raise interest rates to actively to take action to bring down the economy so that it doesn't grow too fast, so that it slows down, and that so that prices could come down. So when interest rates are really high, when inflation is high, and the central banks are increasing interest rates, economic activity will go down. So individuals would borrow less money because it's so expensive when interest rates are high. Companies and businesses would also spend less money. They would not take any more new loans because interest rates are so high. So they would rather prefer or defer and push back and postpone any decision to make any new loans at a later date. So when economic activity slows down, what will happen is demand for products and services will go down, sales would go down, retail sales will go down, and then unemployment starts to come up. Okay, because businesses, when they are not being able to sell a lot of stuff, and if they are making less profits, they have to they have to terminate some positions, so unemployment would go up. And then when all these things happen combined, after interest rates have stayed high, economic activity will slow down, and then prices would slowly start to come down, and then inflation would be under control. So that's the situation with the dollar. We are at a situation where the US is seeing some economic slowdown, but not significant. So the Federal Reserve Bank is not raising rates right now, but they are holding rates where they are, because they are seeing some slowdown happening, and they don't want to slow down to be short term. Okay, if they see the slowdown happening and they start to cut rates to prevent the economy from crashing and becoming too slow, what they would tend to do is cut interest rates. So the cutting interest rates is good news because it will increase economic activity, and it will be cheaper for individuals to take loans. It will be cheaper for companies to take loans, but it is also going to push prices back up. So inflation would come up, would start to rise if interest rates are cut too soon. So the US economy, the US Federal Reserve doesn't want the economy to come back up so soon, so they are keeping rates where they are. Maybe there's going to be 1 or 2 interest rate cuts this year in 2024, but we don't know when that's going to happen. In the meantime, we can look at the assets that are on the market. Anything that is, if you look at USD CHF, I have it on screen right now, and I'm looking at maybe the 30 minutes chart, and I'm zooming out. You can see that the US dollar has been on an uptrend and then starts to come down. So this is the US dollar still being stronger relative to the Swiss franc. Now, if you look at other assets, so let's look at Euro USD, as well as, let's see what we have, AUD USD. So I'm going to activate AUD USD as well as Euro USD. Okay, so I've activated those two. Let's have a look. So Euro USD is showing strength. So if you look, the euro has moved stronger relative to the US dollar. So this is in part being influenced by the news that the Federal Reserve is no longer raising interest rates. So when it's no longer raising interest rates, the US dollar is deemed to be going to be relatively weak, because previously it was raising rates, month after month after month over the last couple of months. Now that is no longer happening, so euro is now relatively picking up the pace or becoming stronger relative to the US dollar, because of that attitude or that position by the Federal Reserve Bank not to raise interest rates further. So this trend that we are currently seeing, euro USD going up, is probably going to continue unless you see economic slowdown happening faster in Europe, okay, in the euro area. So if that happens, then euro USD would likely come down or maybe move in sideways fashion. But at the moment, euro is showing strength versus the US dollar, which is why you are seeing the move up right now from 107.768 to currently 107.07. Okay, so 107.768 to 107.8. So that's really pushing other currencies against the US dollar to be moving higher. And if you look at AUD USD, you more or less are looking at the same pattern. So let me move that to 30 minutes so that we see the pair in more or less the same time frame as Euro USD. So Euro USD is looking like this, also putting both on the 30 minutes time frame. So it's going up like that. Okay, so AUD USD is also moving up. Okay, so whenever the US is saying that they are not going to cut interest rates, they are not going to increase interest rates, and they are going to possibly cut interest rates. So these things are making the US dollar weaker versus other major currencies like the euro, like the Australian dollar. And there are other currencies as well. There are GBP, there's GBP USD, British pound against USD, as well as the USD CHF, which I showed you earlier. So that's one of the main key trends that we need to be aware of, okay? Because if you look at the assets moving up and down and you're not sure what the key trends are, then you could be trapped thinking that you are seeing a pattern, but you are ignoring the big trend. So if you ignore the big trend, you would be surprised when suddenly the big trend continues and comes back to the market and affecting your trades. So be sure to understand what the big trends are. The other thing that's probably affecting the markets right now is the situation with the conflict in the Middle East. Okay, so the situation in the Middle East is creating uncertainty. It's creating supply issues, where the normal mode of transport of shipping goods since using the normal routes in the Middle East are being affected. So that is increasing the cost of transportation, and that is also possibly creating tension and worry about the supply of oil. So when that happens, the price of oil also tends to stay at a high level and not likely to come down anytime soon, or maybe not come down significantly anytime soon. So you need to be aware of that as well if you're trading oil. And of course, when war breaks out and if there's any increase in escalation in the Middle East tension, new conflict, or if the conflict suddenly becomes more intensified, then what you would also expect to happen is for gold to increase in price. Okay, so gold is a safe haven commodity. You tend to see gold increase many times higher when there is conflict, especially in times of war. So be aware of that. Be aware of key events. Then you will be able to avoid the mistakes of not understanding what's really happening to the major trends of assets. Okay, so now let's turn to finding some opportunities in the market. I'm going to be doing some live trading if I see good opportunities to trade, and I will analyze the assets here live on the platform. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever in the comments or in the live chat. And be sure to share this video with your friends who love trading as well, so that they can also join us in understanding what's going on, and maybe they can even join our discussion and put in their thoughts as well, questions or feedback. So I'm looking at Euro USD right now. I'm on the 30 minutes time frame. I see that the asset has sort of found a common pattern of support around this area. So I'm looking at this area right here. This is of particular this area is particularly interesting. This is 1076 or 10759 thereabouts, okay? This area of support, and it pushed all the way up, but then it was quickly rejected. How do I know it's quickly rejected? Look at that long tail. That shows rejection that is pretty strong, almost immediately pushing the candle back down. And then the candle tried to push up again, higher than the body price of this green candle right here. But again, it is quickly pushed down, and we see also another strong or tall shadow on that red candle. So first tall shadow is happening here on the green candle, and then secondly happening on the red candle here. And then after that, price stayed below that level. So this level is 1078. So I am marking that as strong resistance, at least on the 30 minutes time frame. And then we have here strong support around 1076. Okay, so the price is actually moving from 1078 to 1076, and it's not able to push higher. In fact, the selling was so intensive that it pushed the asset all the way down back to the 1076 support. Now the 1076 support was broken, but there was a bunch of orders that was waiting and really playing the support role again and keeping prices not above 1076, but there's a new support level at a lower level, which is 107576. Okay, so 107576, and currently the asset that we are seeing now is being pushed by the support level. Now this push above the 107576 level, the new support level, this push up is quite significant. And why do I say that? Because if you can see, look at this green candle right here, it's got this tall shadow, which means that it tried to go up, but then still there's a lot of selling happening, so creating this tall green shadow, okay, on the green candle. Now after this thing happened, the asset, yes, it came down again. It visited 1075.1078 or 107.577 down here, and then it continued to stay above this price level, and then buyers are pushing it up again. Okay, buyers are not giving up and trying to take control of the asset. So as it pushed up, it really got stuck at that level here again. Okay, this is where the push down happened, and then it got stuck at that level again. After it got stuck, the asset was able to break through this resistance. So this resistance is 10769. Okay, 10769. It was able to push through that resistance, and then you have another two green candles after that. So the asset is able to break this resistance and then stay above that level. So this trend up is really happening. Now it's, buyers are really pushing through and overcoming the sellers. So it's really happening. If I want to make a trade decision, I want to make an up trade right here. Why? Because the trade is really happening. We are seeing signs that there is rejection of this price level, but there is acceptance of this price level. And then once it got here to this resistance, you see that the traders are accepting the price by buying it, and buying it. There's rejection here, and there's continued buying activity right here. Okay, so this looks like a good candidate to open an up trade. So I'm going to open an up trade right here. Before I do that, I'm going to go down to the small time frame. We are now on the 30 minutes time frame. I'm going to go down to the 15 or 5 minutes time frame and see the action at that level. Okay, so I am now on the 5 minutes time frame. I'm trying to assess whether the sellers are winning or the buyers are winning right here. Which side of the market is winning. So I'm looking at this There's push down here, push, rejection. Every time you see the red candle, that's price rejection. And then every time you see green candle, you are seeing price acceptance. Traders are accepting the price. So I'm seeing that rejection is still happening right here. Now, if this rejection is able to break through this support 1077 at the 5 minutes time frame, I'm going to hold on and not make a trade because the uptrend looks like a bit suspicious. It might not continue above this level. But if this push fails and I get green candles happening, and then if the green candle is able to push through this resistance right here, 1078.26902, okay, 1078.26, then I'm going to open an up trade. I'm going to open, I'm on the 5 minute time frame, so I'm going to probably open on a 15 minute or 15 or 20 minutes trade duration. So probably 3 or 4 5-minute candles. Okay, so really this is what I'm focusing on right here, 107.28 or 107.3. And right now I'm just waiting. When that happens, if a green candle closes and breaks through that resistance, I can open an up trade, and I feel confident that the uptrend is going to continue. What do you think is going to happen? Put down in the chat. Maybe you have a different idea. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. It's okay. You have to trade your strategy, have a trading plan, follow that strategy, follow that trading plan, and then be consistent. If you continuously lose money with a particular trading plan, stop trading the live account, go back to your demo account, and then reassess and fix your trading strategy. If it's continuously making money for you, okay, if it's continuously making money for you, then don't do anything. Just stay with that asset. Let me see. Okay, your USD. Not sure what happened there. We were on the 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, we're waiting for this. We're waiting for this resistance to be overcome. 107.2526. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know. Thank you for joining us, all of you who are on the live stream. And if you are watching after the live stream, also welcome. Hope you are getting benefit from this video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and share the video with your friends. So we're waiting for the asset to continue its move up and overcome that resistance for Euro USD, because this is consistent with the major trend that the asset is pushing up. So we want the confirmation before we open the trade. So my confirmation is on the 5 minutes time frame, and I'm just waiting. So when we find a signal, when we find a good pattern to trade, we do have to get confirmation, and do not open a trade until we get confirmation. Don't jump the train, okay? Because the risk is going to be different. If you open a trade before confirmation, the risk is going to be totally different. Don't do that. And if we don't get confirmation, it's cool. We can wait for the next trade, find the next signal. At least we will not risk our money on a trade that has a low probability of success. Okay, so if it doesn't give us confirmation, that means the probability of success is lower. So we don't want to open a trade when that happens. So look, the asset was trying to push up, but the candles are still between red and green. It's not a surefire green. So buyers and sellers are still fighting to take control, and sellers look like they're probably winning right here. We'll see. A few more minutes before we call it a day. But this is what I'll be watching during the live stream, and even when I end the live stream, also I'll be watching this, because this is the opportunity that I think is consistent with the major trend that I'm seeing. Dollar weakening and other assets against the dollar showing strength, like Euro USD, AUD USD, GBP USD. That's what's happening right now. So if the bulls win, we let the bulls win, you know. and then we wait for the resistance to be broken. That's our confirmation. Also, while you are here, be sure to use our promo code LIVEMAY to double your deposit if you are making a deposit anytime soon. Okay, so use that promo code to make sure that you get double your deposit when you make a deposit and fund your account. More money to trade. Look at that. The green candle is really small. It's showing indecision. Okay, it's showing that buyers and traders are about even, so prices are not really going anywhere. But it looks like sellers are really trying really hard to push the asset down to sell and reject the price level. We are now at 107,777, and the uptrend is sort of interrupted. It can even go down to this level before it continues moving back up in a stronger way. But we let that happen first before we open our trade. And this is the interesting part. This is the waiting part. And if you think you don't need patience in trading, you are wrong. Okay, in investing, to be really successful, you've got to wait. You gotta have patience to wait for the right buy or sell decision. It's the same in trading. To be really successful, you've got to understand what is a good setup, and then you've got to have the patience to wait for the setup to happen. When it happens, you can open your trade. If it doesn't happen, you just sit there and wait. It's boring, but it's going to give you a higher probability of success. So we are still waiting. We're still waiting for Euro USD to give us that opportunity to trade. Let's look at AUD USD in the meantime. And AUD USD is also moving up. See, the movement up is currently paused because there is this push down, which is really good. Okay, so for the AUD USD, I probably pay attention to this resistance right here, 0.66239. If that resistance is overcome and green candles stay above that resistance level, I'm gonna feel more confident to open a trade right there. So now it's not yet happening. So we are doing this thing called patience. See, when assets go up, you tend to get red candles. Look at this. It goes up and then get red candles. Not one, got two. You got two red candles, and then it went up again. You got another long red candle right here, and then it continues to go up. So you expect to have pullbacks when assets are moving up. You expect to have pullbacks. Don't expect it to be all green, because it almost never happens that way. Okay, you don't get all greens on when the asset is going up, or you don't get all reds when the asset is going down. Okay, you get a mix. So that's AUD USD. It's got to overcome this resistance, but currently it's pulling back and it's gaining momentum. The selling is gaining momentum because there's support here. There's a mini support here. That support is now broken. So yeah, it's not ready to go up yet. It's probably a mini support right here as well. Look at this for the Euro USD. There's a mini support right here. That support is being broken. So that's okay. It's pullbacks are supposed to happen, and it's a natural thing for assets to show pullback. Whether it's going up or whether it's going down, there's going to be pullback either way. So we're doing this patience thing, waiting. So I don't think we're going to get our setup right here in this live stream, but that's what I'm going to be watching for. Maybe we'll discuss this trade if we get the chance in the next live stream. So that's it for today. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. Share it in the chat, in the live chat, or in the comments section after the live stream. Okay, thank you for joining us. Be sure to use the promo code. All the description, the promo code is in the description section below. And if you want to double your deposit when you make transfers to your account, be sure to use the promo code to get that double deposit. Okay, so until next time, be sure to join us in the next live stream. Thank you for joining us. I hope that has been useful to you. Share that with your friends, share the video with your friends, and I will see you in the next live stream. Take care and enjoy your trading. Bye.